Dear students, welcome to Study and Learn Academy. I am Dr. Ganapat Nagda, and today we will start a new current topic, that is COVID-19 and air pollution, and what is the relationship between COVID-19 and air pollution. So let's start. Research links air pollution with the worsening of a variety of cardiovascular and pulmonary diseases. Evidences suggest that an association between air pollution and worse COVID-19 outcomes. This may account for the disproportionate effect of COVID-19 on marginalized racial and ethnic groups. Air pollution health effects. According to WHO, 91% trusted sources of people around the world live in a place that does not meet WHO air pollution standards. The American Lung Association has recently found that almost half of people in the US live in a country that has an unhealthy amount of air pollution, an increase from the last three reports in 2017, 18 and 19. Research has shown that air pollution can worsen respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, reproductive issues, nervous system dysfunction, and the development of cancer. According to WHO, trust ambient air pollution kills 4.2 million people each year. Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, researchers have explored what possible link exists between air pollution and risk associated with COVID-19. The researchers outlined the latest evidence in the current article, demonstrating a clear link between air pollution and worse COVID-19 outcomes. Air pollution and COVID-19. According to the corresponding author of the article, Dr. Stephen Andrew Mann, a physician in Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, Department of Medicine in Boston, a study showed that exposure to higher long-term ambient air pollution is associated with both increased risk of infection and death from COVID-19. Historically, air pollution has been linked with the worse health outcomes, including higher mortality due to the respiratory virus such as influenza. Now, new research on COVID-19 adds further evidence of the adverse effects of ambient air pollution and the urgent need to address the public health crisis of pollution. Drawing on current research, the authors suggest that several ways air pollution may worsen COVID-19 health outcomes. Air pollution can worsen a person's immune system, meaning they are more likely to contract a virus and more likely to have a severe infection. It can also damage the cilia in a person's respiratory tract, which protect against respiratory infections. Two types of air pollution, particulate matter and nitrogen dioxide, promote the creation of an enzyme that SARS-CoV-2 target and uses for viral entry. This could account for the association between air pollution and worse COVID-19 outcomes. The authors also note that long-term air pollution exposure can increase a person's chances of developing cardiovascular, metabolic, or pulmonary diseases, which are themselves associated with a greater risk of dying from COVID-19. Temporary respite. The author also notes that the reduction in industrial output and motor traffic during the various lockdowns of the pandemic may offer researchers an opportunity to explore whether human health improved during this temporary respite from high air pollution levels. According to Dr. Mary Rice, a physician in the Pulmonary Critical Care and Sleep Medicine Department at BIDMC and senior author of the article, research evaluating association between the dramatic reduction in ambient air pollution during the lockdown and healthcare utilization for respiratory conditions would further confirm the impact of ambient air pollution on non-communicable diseases and the need to reduce air pollution to improve overall health. Health inequities. The researchers also suggest that air pollution may in part explain why COVID-19 has disproportionately affected trusted source, people who are systematically marginalized due to their race or ethnicity and have experienced higher infection or mortality rates during this pandemic. The authors highlight previous research that found that people from marginalized racial backgrounds in Massachusetts were more likely to have exposure to worse than white people. According to Dr. Mean and his colleagues, racial minorities are more likely to live in areas closer to the industrial pollution and to work in business sectors with higher exposure to pollution. These inequalities in residential and occupational air pollution exposure may be a cause of the stark disparities of this COVID-19 pandemic along racial and ethnic lines. The author concludes that the COVID-19 is a wake-up call, making clear the need for significant stricter air pollution standards and an end to the tolerance of worse air pollution in disadvantaged neighborhoods. Racial inequalities in COVID-19, the impact on black communities. The issue of how race-related health inequalities are affecting several disadvantaged groups and black communities in particular in the US is very complex and has wide ramifications. COVID-19 has only served to unmask inequities that have existed for hundreds of years. The current climate of social unrest in the US and the thousands of people protesting against systemic racism and in support to the Black Lives Matter movement in bringing inequalities into seven even sharper focus, adding more political and emotional weight to a long-standing issue. A few articles on the matter can only begin to scratch the surface, but the complexity of an issue should not deter us from tackling it. A couple of weeks ago, Medical News Today dove into some ways in which COVID-19 is affecting people of color and minority groups. We also interviewed Professor Tiffany Green about how racial inequities play into the disparities observed during the pandemic. In this special feature, we follow up by looking at the available scientific evidence of the uneven and racialized impact of the pandemic, as well as what other experts have to say about racial disparities during COVID-19 and in healthcare more broadly. As the pandemic persists and more data become available, MNT will continue to address two broader issues on the impact that COVID-19 is having on specific racial and ethnic groups. For now, much of the evidence points to be disproportionate impact on black Americans, so the rest of this article will focus on this group. Making sense of incomplete data. As the COVID-19 pandemic unfolds, more data are becoming available regarding infection rates, mortality rates, and testing, shedding light on the ways in which the crisis is affecting different socio-demographic groups. However, in some countries, and perhaps most notably in the US, considering its high number of cases and deaths, the information is becoming available in drips and drabs as the relevant government bodies have been reluctant there and reveal data organized by specific socio-demographic factors. For instance, sex disaggregated data was not publicly available in the US in mid-April 2020, and the country had the highest number of COVID-19 cases in the world. Similarly, it took the federal government 3 months to start tracking COVID-19 deaths and infections in nursing homes, and even then the efforts were incomplete, despite outcry from researchers and public health experts. Race and ethnicity related data have been no exception. In mid-April, almost 3 months after the start of the pandemic in the US, Centers for the Disease Control and Prevention were breaking down only 35% of their data according to race and ethnic group. At the time, according to some studies, the race and ethnicity of people receiving 78% of the diagnosis on a national level was unknown, and only half of the states were reporting COVID-19 mortality by race and ethnicity. Researchers have pointed out that while 1 in 5 countries nationally is disproportionately black and only one represents 35% of the US population, this country accounted for nearly half of COVID-19 cases and 58% of COVID-19 deaths. Inaccurate or incomplete reports of data can paint a misleading picture, one that can misinform public health policies. A study that has yet to be peer-reviewed, led by researchers at Yale University in New Haven City, noted in Midway that the CDC data suggests that white patients represent a higher proportion of COVID-19 diagnosis than their representation in the general population. Yet data derived from specific regions that report race or ethnicity of COVID-19 descendants show that the black patients are dying at a much higher rate than their population share. In the absence of a clear picture of a federal level scientist, non-partisan research group and advocacy groups have stepped in to gather as much data as possible in a systemic way. Reports from disparate US states coupled with emerging studies are all painting a worrying picture. Black Americans being hit the hardest by the pandemic, along with Latinx communities, while indigenous population and other minority communities are also taking the brunt of COVID-19 in some states. Black Americans up to 3 times more likely to die of COVID-19. The study led by Yale researchers, while appeared as a preprint in Midway, may use more recent data, assess its quality and adjusted for age in their analysis. Lead study author Dr. Kerry Gross and colleagues found that black Americans are 3.5 times more likely to die of COVID-19 than white Americans. In addition, the team found that Latinx peoples are almost twice as likely to die of the disease compared with the white people. We also found that the magnitude of these COVID-19 disparities varied substantially across states. While some states do not have demonstrable disparities, black and Latinx population in other states face 5 or 10-fold or higher risk of death than their white counterparts, says the authors. Dr. Marcella Norris-Smith, a professor of internal medicine at Yale and senior author of this study, comments, "We need high-quality data and a consensus on the metrics we use to direct resources and tackle staggering health inequities. It is worth noting that the CDC are now showing national averages by race, data that was not visible on its website a few weeks ago. However, it remains unclear whether they are using data from all 50 states and Washington DC to reach these averages." A report issued by the non-partisan American Public Media Research Lab at the end of May found similar results. The latest overall COVID-19 mortality rate for black Americans is 2.4 times as high as the rate of whites and 2.2 times as high as the rate of the Asians and the Latinos. The APM report calculated these rates based on the total number of deaths up to May 19, at which point the scientists had information about the races and ethnicities of 89% of people who had died of COVID-19. The information came from 40 of the 50 states and from the districts of Columbia. While in an incomplete picture of the total COVID-19, the authors write the existing data reveals deep inequities by race, most dramatically for black Americans. Death rate for black Americans double their population share. For black people in the US, the death rate of COVID-19 is strangely high compared with the population share. As the APM report notes, collectively black Americans make up 13% of the population in all US areas that released COVID-19 mortality data, but they account over 25% of the deaths. In other words, they are dying of the virus at the rate of roughly double their population share among all Americans where race and ethnicity is known. By comparison, across all 41 reporting jurisdictions combined, whites are considerably less likely to die from COVID-19 than expected, given their share of the population. They represent 61.7% of the combined population but have experienced 49.7% of the deaths in America where race and ethnicity is known. Echoing the Yale study, the APM report found huge disparity in individual states. These disparities are much broader than the 2.4 times higher rate of mortality among black Americans compared with the white Americans. For example, in Kansas, black residents are sometimes more likely to have died than white residents, while in Washington DC the rate among blacks is 6 times as high as it for the whites. In Missouri and Wisconsin, it is 5 times greater. The author of the APM report also deplored the mishandling crisis by the US federal government in terms of the gathering and disseminating of data on race. Andy Egbert, a senior researcher at APM Research Lab, said, I want to speculate about motive, but I can't believe in a modern economy that we don't have a mandated, uniform way of reporting the data across states. So this is all about the today's lecture. Thank you very much. Goodbye.